hero's welcome for Sacramento Mayor Kevin Johnson as he got to the airport on Monday night after a tentative agreement was reached between the Sacramento Kings and the city of Sacramento to build a new arena and keep the Kings in Sacramento. Let's talk to our insider, David Aldridge, about that Sacramento situation. Kevin Johnson, DA, has said that it's game over. He's pretty sure, even though there is a city council vote, I guess, a week from tonight. So how do things stand, and how is it really tentative, or is it a done deal?
I think tentative is probably the proper word. You just never know with the city council vote. I think they're confident, Ernie, that they can get the votes to get this done, with the Maloof family kind of making a financial commitment, and AEG also kind of increasing its own commitment that it was going to put in. They feel like they've made up that gap, and they believe that it's going to get approved, and I think it will be. It may be closer maybe than they think, but I think it will get done.
DA, the future looks bright in Sacramento. Let's turn our attention to New Orleans. Can you update us on the potential of the New Orleans Hornets with their new ownership and them staying in the city of New Orleans?
Well, you know, they are in discussions right now, and David Stern would not specify the group that's ahead. There were three groups that were looking to buy the team and keep it in New Orleans. The question now is, what is the price going to be? As you know, Smitty, the league spent a little bit more than $300 million to buy the team. They'd like to make that much back and add a little profit on top. And the issue now is whether they're going to get that or not. And then the people that they're talking to are, you know, as negotiations are likely to do, you know, they have a price that they want to stick to, and the league's price is higher. So they're in the midst of doing that. But I think they will come to terms with one of these two groups that are really the kind of top two front runners and get the deal done, because it's, you know, at the end of the day, even though I'm sure David Stern wants to profit from selling the Hornets, the more important thing is to get the Hornets sold, get the league out of the business of running that team, because, you know, with the Chris Paul situation and everything, I mean, it has not been a good situation for the NBA to own that team, and I think they'd like to end that as soon as possible.
DA, let's take a look at on the court in terms of potential trades that may come about here in the next couple of weeks. You know, a lot of speculation about what's going on with the Lakers. Orlando now possibly taking the chance of allowing Dwight Howard to play through until free agency. Your thoughts on how this whole trade landscape is potentially going to play out, and who could be some of the big winners?
Well, I think you look at, obviously we all look at Dwight Howard first, and, you know, they are going back and forth on it. They are thinking hard about keeping him and just playing it out. And maybe they catch lightning in a bottle and draw an inside straight and they keep him. Maybe they, you know, in the East, being everybody being one injury away, they feel like maybe they could make a run. But I think people are waiting to see what happens there. But I think that there'll be some teams active. I think Houston's going to definitely be active before the trade deadline. I heard very strongly that the Celtics were going to do something, maybe sooner rather than later. I heard that during All-Star Weekend that they thought they were about ready to pull the trigger on something and get and break that thing up. I think those are the main ones. The Lakers situation is, I think, my guess is right now they're not going to do anything. I think Kobe's statement kind of put them on the clock, and they're not going to do a deal just for the sake of doing a deal. So they are right now, I think they're going to keep their powder dry. But everybody's waiting to see what Orlando does with Dwight. That's clearly the domino that's going to lead to everything else going. Minnesota has a surplus of players at small forward and point guard. It won't surprise me if Michael Beasley or Luke Rittenauer winds up being dealt before the deadline.
DA, you keep your powder dry, too. Always good talking to you. And get some rest here in the next few days, because I know in the next couple of weeks leading up to the trade deadline, you are going to be on that phone nonstop. Appreciate the time tonight.
Thanks, you guys.